Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 3 planetary conjunction video for this week. And today we are going to be covering heavy conjunction again of Sun, Mars, and Saturn. And what happens when Sun, Mars, and Saturn are in the same house in your horoscope. And if you do not know, as always, if you have this conjunction, what other conjunctions you have, so you can refer back to my videos and my books. For that, check out the links here and check out my full astrological report, where exactly on the second page you'll see where each planet is placed along with the chart on above. And you will see my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects of the Speed of Light at the link here, including other options. So, Sun, Mars, and Saturn conjunction. Well, first of all, what is Sun? Sun is the father, authority, ego, self-esteem, confidence, government. Mars is younger siblings, male brothers, male friends, soldier, fighter, your fighting ability, your ability to go out there and put action into play. Mars is an engineer, an athlete, a weapons maker. Mars represents fire, anger. Then Saturn. Saturn is restriction, boundaries. Saturn is work. Saturn represents servants, the working class. Saturn represents your work ethics, your discipline, your organization skills. And Saturn, most importantly, represents your ability to break boundaries and achieve your goals in this life. That's what Saturn is really for. Saturn is not boundaries. Saturn is the planet that helps you break boundaries. That's why it is the symbolism of this ring around Saturn. He's like, you break the ring and then the universe is yours. So when these 3 planets come together, the first thing you will notice is that at the age of 33, wherever this conjunction is taking place, you're somehow going to argue about the situation related to that house with your father. At the age of 33. Also at the age of 33, whatever house this conjunction is taking place in, matters related to that house will become alive. So let's say, for example, Sun, Mars, and Saturn are in the 4th house. At the age of 33, if your father is still alive, and if not father, fatherly figure, you will have some sort of an argument and disagreement regarding property, regarding fixed assets, vehicles, or something related to do with the mother. Yet, most of the time, if Sun and Saturn are alone, or Sun, Mars, and Saturn are placed in a well-placed sign, a neutral placement, you will gain something related to that house. So you may gain property at the age of 33. Yet, with some arguments, with some truffle, like your father doesn't like that property, you like that property. And I know in most of the world, at the age of 33, you're making your own decision about buying property. But in India, let's say, in a conservative society, seniors have a lot of say. What type of property you should buy, what you should build. Usually in India, they build houses. So there could be some disputes. Same thing happens. You have this conjunction in the 7th house. At the age of 33, if you're single, you can get married. Yet at the age of 33, there could be some dispute with your father regarding your marriage or spouse if you're married. Perhaps something happened between your spouse and your father, and they got into some argument, and then now you have to solve it, and you get into arguments. Things of that nature will happen. Also, you definitely have a military father. Even if your father's not a military, he's a military father. He disciplined you with a belt. He disciplined you with a stick. And when you grew up, that war zone came alive. Between you and your father, I don't care if you're male or female, between you and your father, there's this war zone, always. And the further apart you guys live, the better the relationship is. The moment you and your father come into the same house, in the same dwelling, sparks fly. War zone occurs. Missiles go. Because when you are in that energy of Sun, and Mars and Saturn conjunction creates a war zone. Mars and Saturn conjunction creates a general. So father is becoming a general. And when you're in that same dwelling, you're experiencing that general in your life. So as an adult, you yourself are a general with this conjunction. So now you are butting heads. It's like the Lion King and the Simba. Simba and his dad, if he was still alive and now wasn't killed by his father's brother, they would be fighting. And as tigers do and lions do, the younger one fights with the older one for the territory. So every time you come across your father, there is some sort of a competitiveness. There's some sort of a agenda to win over your father over something. And let's say if you have a great relationship with a father, which could happen, you will be very competitive with your father still. You guys play sports, you'll play sport. Like your dad will not care that you're her daughter or son. He'll be like, no. If you're going to play basketball, he'll probably like elbow you or something to make that basket. And what this also shows that sun represents your soul and personality as well. And the personality is always demands things from other people. You demand things. You have a problem asking people nicely or asking people in a way that you have to bow your head. You know, like how humble people are like, hey, can you please do this for me? I would really appreciate it. You're like, can you do this for me? I need that done. It's your nature to command things. This is why people with this conjunction do very well in military. Just like Jupiter, Saturn here definitely brings a policeman, family of policemen, family of military people, engineers. And you're a very technical person. I mean, if this conjunction occurs in like first house, fifth house, first, second, fifth, seventh house, most likely you will attain education in fields of technology and engineering. And these are the people who have the strongest way of being the best athlete, being the best like IAS officer, government personnel. These guys are fighters and they love fighting for the king. Because remember, Sun is the biggest planet. And when you have Saturn and Mars, they have to abide by the rules of Sun. Because if they get too close to the Sun will burn them. So they have to obey. And let's say if these two planets are combust in your horoscope, what will happen is you could be the biggest coward. You will show your cowardness by being too aggressive in public. Like if somebody doesn't challenge you, you will overpower the other person. But as soon as the challenge comes, you may shy through. Because that gas of Saturn and Mars is just burning through with the Sun. However, it becomes too agitated. If these three planets are close to each other, oh man, you're talking about a person who does not know their strength, who does not know their weaknesses, and they're simply going to react upon their ego. If you hurt their ego, bam, they can come after your ego without knowing what the result could be of them coming after you. If they see a sledgehammer, they will hit you with it, whether they will not realize that they can kill you with it. And they will realize it afterwards, after the action has been taken. Because your action, Mars, and your ethics, Saturn, are being overshadowed by this. Like imagine if I'm at this Kino light and I'm just like looking at it. I'll be blinded. I will not know where to look, what to do. This is what happens. So the misdirection of action can happen if they're too close to the Sun. But one place where these people really shine is in government. Places of the government and places where they have to dictate and command. Great management, like these people should be in executive management, district manager, VP. Because for them, commanding is in their natural nature. Now, if you, like I was telling, if you have this in the fourth house, man, you and your mother are always with like ninja sword fights. I don't care how much you love your mother. I don't care where moon is placed. Moon could be exalted, sitting with Jupiter in Gach Kesari Yoga. But this conjunction in the 4th house, anytime you're in the same home with your mother, somehow, some way, you guys just disagree about things, and you bring your tongue out, she will bring her tongue out, and things will happen. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, this is a pretty heated conjunction, more than even the last one. Last one, you know, Jupiter kind of gives his wisdom into play, makes a person like Jupiter, Mars, Sun, Mars, Jupiter conjunction I did, becomes a great motivator, you know, a great entrepreneur, somebody who uses their action with wisdom. Here, there's 3 different things happening. Mars and Saturn become very competitive, yet at the same time, they create a war zone in the house they sit in. Then Sun, the heat, the warm, heated, fiery Sun comes upon this conjunction. It's like Mars and Saturn are oiled, and then you're putting fire upon oil. So that's what happens. Okay? So guys, this was my analysis of Sun, Mars, Saturn conjunction. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. Again, if you want to know where your Sun, Mars, Saturn are placed, all your planetary placements, conjunctions, all my books, consultations, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with our mutual aspect of Moon and Mercury. Okay? Bye-bye.